Just get the doc set up.
Yeah, Steve, I want to talk to you about the Hacktoberfest stuff.
Okay. Yeah, we're the
Yeah.
details are slowly starting to come in.
Yeah, I want to contribute in Hacktoberfest, and as I asked to Tracy before, and she suggested me about the champion chairman. I want to work under you and learn from you.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, that's all.
Hey, Karam, it's good to see you or be on the phone with you or whatever we are doing. Zoom. Good to Zoom you.
So I'm just like back to contributing as well.
Good. We're all getting back. Having some time off was nice. But... All right. It is 8:01. We'll go ahead and get started. Steve, did you share the...
Not yet. I'm going to drop it in right now. Go chat. Okay, you ready to go ahead, share your screen, Tracy?
Yep, I'm going to.
I can take notes.
All right. My goodness, September 13th already. I can't believe how quickly the year's gone by. We have 3 topics for today. There are 3 things coming up that we need to do some work on. So we'll just take each one and we'll go over Hacktoberfest first. That'll be the easiest one. So we have done all of our work for Hacktoberfest. There are, if we go out to the Ortelius site. Go out to the blogs in news. Hacktoberfest information is published, and there is a grand list of items that we need to get working on. These here probably would take priority because they're all for the service catalog. The rest are some really old issues that have been out there that we need to get resolved. And then there are 3 that are very specific to the work that we're going to be doing with GitOps. So they all go right to they're all linked right to the GitHub issue, and you should be good to go. To sign up, I believe all you have to do to sign up to Hacktoberfest is to make sure your email is in here, and it'll keep you updated. And all of our tickets that we have created in the previous, all of these tickets are listed under, if we looked how they're organized, we have 3 projects out here. Here are the Hacktoberfest projects. And every one of these have been labeled with Hacktoberfest as well. So what's going to happen is your pull request will get associated to this tag. And this is the tag that Steve will go through. He'll look at it because they have they call it a spamming, where somebody might go in and create 4 pull requests by updating one document 4 times, do some editing 4 times, and those don't really count. So what has to happen is Steve has to approve the pull request with the tag or in the project, and we have them both there. And once that's done, your GitHub ID will get credit for doing that pull request. And if you do 4 of them, then you get the Hacktoberfest swag. So that's how that works if you haven't participated before. And Steve makes himself extra available during Hacktoberfest to help people with getting this stuff done. I know because he was helping me do some pull requests last year so I could get my t-shirt. But he would be there to help you in any way you need to help. So Arvin, maybe you can reach out to Steve and maybe he can show you some of the tickets that would be good ones for you to work on, and anybody else who wants to do that, Steve can do that for you as well. Steve, you're on mute, I think.
Do we want to put a link under the Ortelius events page or just leave it under blog?
I will put it, that's a great idea. I will add it to the events page. Once you put a to do in there for the doc, so I don't forget.
Yep.
And when I do that, I'll make sure that your your calendar invite is there so people can reach out to you, Steve. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So you can start looking at the pull request now, get an idea of what you want to work on, and then go for it as of October 1st. The other things that we have to do is we need to talk about the, I know we talk about it every time, but I'm going to still talk about it again, is the podcast. So should we postpone working on these podcasts until after Hacktoberfest, which is totally fine with me, because we also have this December year-end celebration that will be, that we need to work on. So if we, everybody gets busy during Hacktoberfest doing tickets, and I think that is what Hacktoberfest is all about. So I would say we postpone working on podcast, and I will, in the meantime, start working on the December year-end celebration. So for some of you on the call were involved last year, what we do is we do a half-day event. We start in the morning. We call it beer and donuts because everybody's in different time zones. I'm thinking this time we'll have, I might ask somebody from the Linux Foundation to do kind of like a little keynote. And then we do our recognition program. We hand out all of our recognition badges, which means that those of you participating in Hacktoberfest will get more opportunity to get those badges. And then we'll have probably 3 sessions. And those 3 sessions are hosted by one of the committers and presented by one of the committers. So we have 6 people who get involved in doing them. We record them, I edit them, and we run it all as a virtual event, all pre-recorded, except for the beer and donut session. And last year, 6 months ago, we broadcasted it over Twitch. And we'll do it December 8th because that is our 1-year anniversary for being accepted as a incubating project into the Linux Foundation. And so my suggestion is, and we can talk about it, is that we wait until January, and then January we push the podcasts and focus on the year-end celebration and Hacktoberfest through October and September and November. Any thoughts? Or anybody saying, no, I'll take on the, if somebody wants to do the podcast now, I'm totally okay with it. But I think it's something that we don't have to do now if we have a time crunch.
I think it's a good idea to wait until at least after the December celebration. We can see how December goes, the rest of December into January, because sometimes it'll be a slow period or around year end, and sometimes it can be really busy. I think we just need to look to see what happens, and but definitely pick it up in January.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So we don't have too much on our plate. Karam, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it looks good. Like if like currently the what do you say, the Hacktoberfest and the celebration on December.
Yeah,
that's the most crucial things on the plate.
Yeah.
And one more thing, can you please cancel the subscription then? Because it is, if no one is using, then we are.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, we probably could. I'm not gonna worry about it because I might play with it. I'm part of a group of executive women who we might start doing some kind of podcast, so I might use the platform. So I'm not gonna, I don't think, the subscription is not that much, is it, Steve? Like $10 a month?
Something like that.
I think
Yeah.
12 bucks.
So we'll keep the subscription there in case somebody decides that they want to, you know, learn Buzzsprout and just start playing on it. It's totally fine.
Can we do one podcast on specific Hacktoberfest session?
Yeah, we could kind of do a quick podcast about what some of the issues we have, some of the work that needs to be done, and kind of put that out there as a teaser or a way to socially pick up, you know, try to recruit
Yeah.
people.
That is a brilliant idea. Awesome suggestion.
Yeah, like how to get started with Ortelius through Hacktoberfest. It will give a quick guide to others.
Yeah.
Steve and I will quiz, I'll do an interview of Steve on it and get that out because I think that's something Steve and I can work between the two of us to get it sorted out, and we'll do it. We'll do a first podcast on that. It's a great idea.
Thank you.
Unless somebody else wants to interview Steve. Arvin, if you want to interview Steve and do it, that it works as well. But I think that's a really, really great idea. And I think we can get that done in the course of the next 2 weeks. It shouldn't be that hard to set up podcast and record a 15, 20-minute session.
Yeah, I didn't have experience in interviewing, so maybe Sargo can go for it.
I'll be happy to do it. I'm just making sure I'm not stepping on anybody's toes, but it's a really, really great idea to do that.
Yeah.
And then the last thing here is we just have to just want to remind all of you on the call about the governance board. If you want to nominate yourself, or if you have somebody in mind that you think you should nominate, the nominations will come out on the 27th of September. And there will be nominations for 6 members, and as well as 2 members to run the this meeting and the architecture meeting. So keep that in mind as well if you have an interest in serving as a chair. And if you're a chair, you'll be plenty busy with stuff to do for the chairs, but you also are invited to attend the board meetings, but you don't have a voting seat. So you can give your opinion and you can try to influence the vote, but only the board members will be able to vote. And there'll be 7 board members in total. Steve will be a permanent board member, and 6 people will be elected for the first time. 2 of them will be for, or I'm sorry, 3 of them will be for 1-year terms and 3 of them will be for 2-year terms. And that's so that next December we'll have another election, and we'll have an election for 3 new members, which creates what they call a rotating board. So just keep that in mind as well.
And I know there's talking about the board. We should probably start throwing around a date for the TOC for maybe after KubeCon. We can get our TOC together.
Yeah, I will. I'm thinking of probably, I usually do it in November. So I was hoping to have the service catalog completed before I scheduled that.
Okay.
Since I don't have a clear date for that, I hadn't scheduled it, but I was hoping we could do one in November.
Yep, that works. Alrighty.
So those are the 3 top things. So Hacktoberfest then is probably in terms of outreach, is probably the most critical right now. I went ahead and I created, I have quite a few Hootsuites going out, but if you could look for them and be sure and share them, because we want to get it out to as large a group as possible, right? It's just not. I have no idea what my password is.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's most of the passwords for the Ortelius stuff. While she's doing that,
So here's the,
Okay.
so I have in the Ortelius schedule, I have quite a bit of that going out. So if you could start watching for, let me see my. And Siddharth is here.
hey, Siddharth.
Hello, hello. Good morning.
So here are the posts for the Hacktoberfest. There's going to be two. There's this, there's the one that publishes our blog. And then there's another one. We're going to do Steve's going to do a webinar on October 1st at 9 a.m. Pacific. So about this same time to go over how to, just to learn how to contribute to the Ortelius project. So we'll be able, if I get that podcast done sooner than later, we'll try to get it done today or tomorrow. I'll be able to populate the podcast with it too. So as you see these come through, if you could be sure and share them, because we really want to do as much outreach as we can. And I have several of them going out through those weeks, through the next 2 weeks. There's a ton of Hacktoberfest stuff coming up. So it's out there. So I'm just asking you to look for them and share them, and I'll put another set in for the podcast. And Siddharth, before you jumped on, we talked about in terms of our schedule for this coming next few months. We have Hacktoberfest, we have the podcast, and we have the December year-end celebration. What are your thoughts about postponing any serious work on the podcast until January, so everybody can focus on Hacktoberfest in October, and we'll focus on the year-end celebration in November?
As you say, if you think we need more concentration, absolutely,
Okay.
we'll hold it.
Okay. Plus, we have the nominations to the board too. But in terms of outreach, getting people to sign up to do our tickets and working on this is probably going to take all of our time. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Any other thoughts, Siddharth, on what we might, as we kind of look at the last quarter of the year, what we should be focused on?
I think what we can also do is, in continuation, what community folks is, they're doing a lot of great things with Ortelius. Why don't they create some bite-sized videos? It hardly takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and they don't have to be professional enough. As I did it, I logged in, did some steps, recorded it, and floated on the Ortelius community.
Sure. You
don't have to be professional enough. You don't have to wear suits. You don't have to
No,
do the
exactly.
audio, video, great recordings. It's hardly take 10-15 minutes. That's it.
And I did create, if you look in the Hacktoberfest, I did create some tickets. So you can create pull requests around doing videos. So that can be part of the Hacktoberfest activities. So if I go back to Ortelius, you'll see in here,
Right to your right.
there is one ticket in here says any training videos with blogs that you think are needed. So if you do a training video, you should write a blog about it. The blog will become your pull request. And Steve will be able to look and see that everything was, it wasn't a spam, as they call it, and approve it. So yes, I think the blogs doing those training videos are super important. And then we have another one up here. So training video with blog to help first-time users get started and adopt Ortelius. There are some that are already out there. I just have to let everybody know that there is going to be a new, the service catalog has a new installer. Somebody's working on it. Aisha is actually working on the architecture and the documentation around the new installation. Is that correct, Steve?
She's working on the overall architecture. The new installation guide, we are putting that together. I have to put most of that together. But what's going to happen is we're going to initially have just some Helm charts that allow you to do the installation, and then down the road we're going to do an operator as well and push it to operator hub. There's a Helm catalog and a operator catalog that we can push those to. I have to
Right.
make sure the operator tickets out there. I don't know if it is.
Yes, create operator to install Ortelius and 2K8s.
Yep.
So keep in mind that we have been thinking about, as Siddharth pointed out, these kind of training videos for a while. So if that's something you would like to take on and learn to do, I would encourage you to do that as well. And that will get you a pull request.
And something
then,
like just real
sorry.
quick, something like on the training videos, right now there's just a single ticket out there. But if you want to do like 4 or 2 short training videos, that will split the ticket into multiple issues.
So you'll just create a new issue, and then Steve will assign it to the Hacktoberfest project.
Yeah.
So just, that's why I said anything you think is needed. And as Siddharth just pointed out, you don't need to wear a suit. It doesn't need to be, the video could be, a 5 minutes, a 5-minute video on any particular area of the product. So don't overthink this one. As you're learning it, if you're new and you've started learning Ortelius and you're out there working on it, you could actually do a video on your first, what your first 10 minutes of Ortelius look like. So you can be as creative and make them as simple as they need to be. I mean, it should not be complicated.
And if anyone thinks it is complicated, just book 30 minutes with me, or in fact 20-25 minutes with me in my calendar diary, and I'll record your video on your behalf.
That is a great idea. Siddharth, can I put out on, I'm going to add this blog page to the Ortelius events, and I'm going to put Steve's calendar info on here. Oh, I need to, this is way out of date. Can I put your calendar invite out there?
Absolutely.
Okay, I will do that. And I'll get this updated today.
And one other thing I saw on that is Ukarsh, we need to create an issue out there, or associate an issue for the Captain cloud events that you're starting to work on, for a Hacktoberfest one.
And Ukarsh, are you do you have the invites for the events, the CDF event meetings, if you're interested in attending that, if those meetings on events?
I don't have any invites regarding this PDF events.
Okay, let me get your email added to that list.
Yeah, I think there's a CDF events meeting after this one.
There is, and I'll make sure that I'll figure out how we got to add him to the list so he can at least be aware and see all the documentation and whatnot.
That would be great.
Yeah,
Thanks.
but if you could please open an issue, or if there's an issue out there, just assign it to the
Yeah, I'll do that.
I don't think it's out there either. I don't remember that because I know he was already working on it and I didn't know how far he was.
right.
Okay.
I want to say something.
Good.
Yeah, like I am a newbie and I am learning Docker and stuff for contributing to Ortelius. Can we make a specific blog channel in Ortelius in which we can make blogs about what stuff to learn to get started? Like I am learning Docker, so I can put some commands how to make a Docker file like stuff, so anyone can get a quick review about go to these steps to contribute to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So where that is, Tracy, if you go to it is in our documentation, there's a contributor guide. So if you go to docs.ortelius.io. Oh, that's me. I broke that. Maybe it won't get there today.
I guess we can't see the guides today. How'd you break that?
I'm trying to get our service catalog published.
But the answer is yes. See, there's a topic called Ortelius tips and tricks, and there's also a topic on thought leadership. If you go over to Ortelius tips and tricks, you're going to find there are other similar kinds of blogs. So you can add that. Any of those kinds of blogs are totally welcome. If you want to, you can write a blog on any kind of topic, especially as you get started yourself as a contributor. What you went through to set up your environment to get, okay, before I started contributing and running this locally, I brought up a Docker environment. Any of those videos are welcome, and any of those blogs we're happy to have. So, you know.
So just so you give you some background, the whole Ortelius website and the documentation are just files in a markdown files that are in a repo. So there's nothing special that you need to do to really to get up and going to make documentation or blog entries. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So that's Tracy's Hacktoberfest page.
Yep, and here's you open a folder. I used Visual Studio. Is this free, Steve, what I'm using?
Yep.
Yeah, and then you open the folder to your maybe I should do a video on this.
Yeah.
You open your folder to your, I don't see it.
That's your Git RE directory.
There it is, yeah. And it's under website. And if you go to content in English, here are our blogs. We got GitOps news and tips, and there's a template in there. And contributors. These are contributor. So if we look here, and then if I go to open a file. Here's our bootstrapping into open source, Genesis for open source contribution, microservice monitoring, how to do our Ortelius website updates. So that's how it's structured underneath the covers. And then all you do is create a pull request from inside of Visual Studio, and it gets sends a notice to have a commit, and then once it's committed, it gets pushed automatically up to the website.
Thank you. I will check them.
Now I'm working on the reverse proxy and all that stuff, so I'll get the website fixed on that front. And we have like 2 minutes left. Looks like we have somebody new that I don't recognize. Bala, why don't you introduce yourself?
Allah has been there. In previous
Yeah, hi Steve. Hi.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember all the name. It's been a while. Everybody's taking a break, so.
Well, welcome back, Bala. Okay, glad to have everybody
Sure.
starting to get back into this. And we're going to get busy between Hacktoberfest and the December 8th event. We'll all be busy doing stuff again. Be fun.
Alrighty.
Okay, everybody. Thank you so much.
Utkarsh, I will send you the Zoom link for the CDF events. Let me check. I think it's coming up in like a half hour.
I think it is too.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a half hour from now. I'll send you the links in Discord.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.